Good evening, everyone. My name is Ken Meager, President of Leadership Morgan Hill. On behalf of the Board of Directors and our graduating class, welcome to the 17th Annual Graduation of Leadership Morgan Hill. Tonight, we are here to honor the class of 2011, a group of diverse individuals who are united in their desire to make a difference in our local community. At this time, I would like to acknowledge some of the city officials who are with us currently tonight. Please stand as I call your name. Mayor Steve Tate, class of 2002, Leadership Morgan Hill. Police Chief David Swing, class of 2001, Leadership Morgan Hill. And City Council Marilyn Liebers, class of 2012. Leadership Morgan Hill is a nonprofit organization established in 1995 whose mission is to ignite the passion, inspire the commitment, and sharpen the skills of the leaders who will create a dynamic Morgan Hill. The core values of Leadership Morgan Hill spell out the word CIRCLE. They are community, integrity, respect, commitment, learning, and engagement. Leadership Morgan Hill provides leadership training and community engagement for people who live and or work in Morgan Hill. Participants have the opportunity to learn new skills, interact with opinion leaders, and develop a deeper understanding of local issues such as education, local government, economic development, media, and public safety. More than 250 people have graduated from our annual 9-month program. Can all of the Leadership Morgan Hill alumni in the audience please stand? Each member of the 2011 class was selected for their abilities and their potential to be a great community leader. Here's a glimpse of what the class experienced during this past 9 months. They received intensive briefings related to Morgan Hill in the areas of local government, education, economic development, public safety, media, health, and social services. They went to Sacramento to learn how state government works, or doesn't work. They learned about personality types and how each of them might react to conflict or stress. They designed and executed a project that will have a direct impact on our community. So go see it at the Cultural and Community Center. It's very lovely. They can tell you all about it later. From 24 to 72, the class of 2011 represents the widest age span of any class I know of in recent Leadership Morgan Hill history. Along the way, they made many friendships that they probably would not have made otherwise. In fact, at our final wrap-up session the other day, everyone in the room mentioned that the most impactful aspect of the program was developing friendships with the other participants. They have successfully made it through the program, and we are here to celebrate the fact that they will continue to carry out the mission and live the leadership circle of values. The strength of Leadership Morgan Hill comes from the community that supports it and the people who organize the program. I would now like to introduce the Leadership Morgan Hill board members. When I call your name, I'd like to ask each of the members of the board to stand up and remain standing. Adam Ferguson. I saw him earlier. Okay.
He was here. He got.
Okay. Lou Mervis. I don't know if she's here, but Lou Mervis is a board member. Marion Tankersley.
Yay, Marion.
Chris Warner. Lorraine Welk. Gary Winsler. Linda Withrow. We also have several board members who will be leaving the board after years of dedicated service to our program. They are Dana Ditmore. Actually, these names need to come up here. So Dana, get up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want you up on stage.
Can I bring my wine?
Yeah. Most definitely, yes.
Bring your wine.
This is a leadership program.
Dolores Alvarado. Sharon Daniel. John Mockabee. Diane Silvera. And Priya Smith. Okay, we have some goodies for you, but I'm not a rapper, so sorry. So here we go. Dana, thank you. Diane. Thank you so much.
2008, best class ever.
He's got to carry on the tradition, so. Okay, thank you. And someone else I did not mention yet. Last but not least, I would like to introduce Victor Gaxiola, current board member and incoming president of Leadership Morgan Hill for the incoming year. Okay, you're stuck up here now. Okay. I would also like to introduce two key people who play a critical role with our program each and every year. David Gerard is our facilitator. David has a passion for learning and leadership development. Cricket Rubino. Cricket is our program administrator and is truly the heart of our organization. Thank you to Cricket and David for their continued support of Leadership Morgan Hill and for continually embodying our core values. As president this past year, it has been such an honor and a delight to work with everyone on the board and the staff this year, and especially with the class of 2011. They all truly represent the vision and mission of leadership. I would also like to thank all the donors and sponsors of Leadership Morgan Hill who helped make our program affordable. Less than 1/2 of the required funding of the Leadership Morgan Hill program is derived from tuition paid by individual participants, with the balance coming from fundraising efforts and from charitable contributions. Thank you to these individuals and organizations that make it happen. Your support is invaluable. Before recognizing our graduates, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Teresa Alvarado. Teresa Alvarado. Okay. Teresa is communications manager for the Santa Clara Valley Water District and a well-known leader in our region. She was recently a candidate for Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors and has served as executive director of the Hispanic Foundation of Silicon Valley. Prior to that, she served as regional representative in PG&E's Government Relations Department and as a program manager in PG&E's Civic Partnership and Community Initiatives Department. Ms. Alvarado is an active member of the civic leadership in Silicon Valley. Her current board service includes the Rotary Club of San Jose, Green Belt Alliance, and Hispanas Organized for Political Equality, and is co-founder of the Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley. Ms. Alvarado is an appointed member of the City of San Jose's General Plan Update Task Force and was the first community member invited to serve on the San Jose Mercury News editorial board. Ms. Alvarado holds a degree in technical writing and in environmental technology and management from San Jose State University, as well as a Master of Science degree in Civil and Environmental Engineering from Tufts University. She is a graduate of the Harvard Kennedy School of Government Executive Education Program Leadership Gilroy, and is an American Leadership Forum Silicon Valley Senior Fellow. Please welcome Teresa Alvarado.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of this special celebration. You know, the one thing that Ken didn't do was list all of the leadership programs that I've been a part of. I'm a leadership junkie, and so I really appreciate the time that you've invested in yourselves and in your community over the past 9 months. I think it's an invaluable investment of time. I think leadership programs really give you an opportunity to reflect upon your strengths, your weaknesses, but your vision and your goals, and give you an opportunity to kind of explore that with others. So I really appreciate that you have taken the time to invest in yourself. I also want to just acknowledge some friends here that I have in the audience. You know, I'm not from Morgan Hill. I'm very active in San Jose, but I feel like this is a community that I belong to as well, and I just wanted to give a little shout out to some friends. Adelita King, Steve Tate, Dana Ditmore, Lorraine Wilk, my former co-worker Diane Silvera, Chris Giussiana, good friend Marty Cheek, Deborah Morton Padilla, Jan Dean, and Bruce Knopp. You all make this such an incredibly tight-knit community. While I was campaigning, we spent a lot of time in the South County, not just because it was a good investment of time in terms of votes, but because we love it here. And so, as I was driving here, I was talking with my mom on the phone, and she said, "Oh, are you heading home now?" And I said, "Well, indirectly. I'm going to make a stop over in Morgan Hill. I'm speaking at Leadership Morgan Hill." And she said, "You sound like you're still campaigning." Meaning, how come you're not home? And I said, "No, but I did make a commitment to this community, and I love this community, so it's a pleasure for me to be here." So you heard a little bit about my bio, but I wanted to share a little bit about my personal background. My father was from Mexico. His name was Jose Alvarado. He emigrated to California in the 1930s. In the late 1940s, he had the first Spanish language radio program in Northern California. It aired on KLOK radio daily and was called the Happy Neighbor program. He played popular Latin music, and he was a concert promoter. He lived in the Mayfair neighborhood of East San Jose, and he actively promoted citizenship, education, and taking responsibility for our communities. My mom is from Southern Colorado. Her parents are from Northern New Mexico. She remembers her father, a coal miner, as being very patriotic, interested in politics, always voting on election day, and listening closely to election results. She met my dad in 1949 and joined him as a radio host. She was really influenced by his civic involvement as well as that of her parents. After my father died in 1978 and 4 of her 5 kids had become young adults, she became very active in the community. She was appointed to a city commission by then Mayor Janet Gray Hayes. Then, when San Jose voted to have district instead of at-large citywide elections, in 1980, she was recruited to run for the city council. My mom was 49 years old when she ran for the first time and elected to office. Again, she was 49 years old with 5 kids. So don't ever say never. I want to plant that seed within each of you if it isn't already germinating, because leadership matters. David and I were speaking about this earlier. It really does matter who we elect to lead us and to make decisions on our behalf. And you may be surprised when the bug bites you and causes you to decide to take on a leadership role in your community. Be open to it. In 2009, I realized that I was open to it. As most of you know, and as was mentioned, I decided to run for office. I felt that the Board of Supervisors was a very important role in our region. Even if you don't come into contact directly with the county, they provide the critical underlying services that keep our community safe and healthy. Mental health and public health services, the criminal justice system, the DA, the public defenders, and the jail, and regional open space and recreation opportunities that add to our quality of life. I assembled a great campaign team, generated a lot of support, and ran a really good race. I lost a seat in the general election by 62 votes out of 62,000. 0.1%. But every election is different, and it just wasn't my time. The reason I tell you this story is to talk about transitions. I transitioned from a position as a nonprofit executive director to be a candidate. And I did it with both feet in. I quit my job and dedicated a year to the campaign. My house became the campaign headquarters. I knew that's what was required, and I knew I wasn't going to go into something that big without being fully committed to it. Because I believed what I was doing, why I was doing it, and how I was going about it, I really felt confident in the decision. I was 45 when I decided to run for office, and it was a great time of growth for me. It's funny because I really never expected to run for office, despite the fact that my mom was an office holder. But when the idea struck me, I analyzed it, did a lot of reflection, sought a lot of feedback, and then went for it. And I'm really thankful that I did. After the election, I knew that I wanted to get back into my original field of study, the environment. I found a great job that is perfect for me. I'm 4 months in as the communications director for the Santa Clara Valley Water District. I also looked at my volunteer service, and I decided to join a great nonprofit board, Greenbelt Alliance, which not just balances the need for open space and infill housing, but really seeks to show how open space and livable, vibrant communities are intertwined. I'm currently on 3 boards, as was mentioned. They all need something different from me, and they all provide me with something different. I also just finished my 4-year commitment with the Envision San Jose 2040 General Plan Task Force. That's an appointed position. It's a very important role. I would encourage you all to get involved in your local land use decision making. It was a great process for me. I learned a lot and believe that we collectively created a great framework for San Jose's growth over the next 30 years. And I'm currently teaching a 1-year nonprofit leadership program offered through the Silicon Valley Council of Nonprofits. It's been really rewarding to work with a group of nonprofit executive directors and help them build their skills and network and provide them with the resources to be more effective in their work. So what about your community leadership? First of all, I would encourage you all to stay engaged as volunteers. California's volunteers have a positive multi-billion-dollar impact on the state's economy every year. The independent sector estimates the dollar value of a volunteer hour nationally at $20.25. As the economy slows and nonprofits struggle to provide services on smaller budgets, volunteers become even more vital to the health of our nation's communities. And as informed civic leaders in Morgan Hill, your contribution is especially needed. So as you reflect upon your transition from Leadership Morgan Hill class member to Morgan Hill civic leader, consider this. It's a great book called Good to Great for the Social Sectors. I don't know if you got it in your class, but it was written by Jim Collins, who is a professor of the Graduate School of Business at Stanford. It's called Why Business Thinking is Not the Answer. And I just want to read some excerpts. We must reject the idea, well-intentioned but dead wrong, that the primary path to greatness in the social sectors is to become more like a business. Most businesses, like most of anything else in life, fall somewhere between mediocre and good. Few are great. When you compare great companies with good ones, many widely practiced business norms turn out to correlate with mediocrity, not greatness. So then why would we want to import the practices of mediocrity into the social sectors? I shared this perspective with a gathering of business CEOs and offended nearly everyone in the room. A hand shot up from David Weekley, one of the more thoughtful CEOs, a man who built a very successful company and who now spends nearly half his time working with the social sectors. Do you have evidence to support your point, he demanded. In my work with nonprofits, I find that they're in desperate need of greater discipline. Disciplined planning, disciplined people, disciplined governance, disciplined allocation of resources. What makes you think that's a business concept, I replied. Most businesses also have a desperate need for greater discipline. Mediocre companies rarely display the relentless culture of discipline that we find in truly great companies. A culture of discipline is not a principle of business, it's a principle of greatness. And he gives 5 issues that form the framework of his recommendations for the social sector. I just want to touch on one briefly. It says, defining great. calibrating success without business metrics. The confusion between inputs and outputs stems from one of the primary differences between business and the social sectors. In business, money is both an input, a resource for achieving greatness, and an output, a measure of greatness. In the social sectors, money is only an input and not a measure of greatness. A great organization is one that delivers superior performance and makes a distinctive impact over a long period of time. For a business, financial returns are a perfectly legitimate measure of performance. For a social sector organization, however, performance must be assessed relative to mission, not financial returns. In the social sectors, the critical question is not how much money do we make per dollar of invested capital, but how effectively do we deliver on our mission and make a distinctive impact relative to our resources. So, think about how you can uniquely contribute to and make a contribution not only to nonprofits, but to the community through nonprofit service. And 3 other questions I would ask you to consider relative to your service, either as a staff person or as a board member of a nonprofit. A, what kind of leader does my organization need me to be right now? Facilitative, decisive, visionary? What kind of board member does this organization need me to be right now? A hands-on volunteer, a fundraiser, a coach, a cheerleader, a door opener, or strategist? And who is our community and what kind of organization do they need us to be right now? A meeting place, a direct service provider, an advocate? So take what Leadership Morgan Hill has provided you, the understanding about how to effectively plug in, the confidence to use your voice on behalf of others, the responsibility to serve in this community or with some other organization you share an affinity with, and engage your kids so that they grow up with that feeling of contributing to the common good in this community, like my mom learned from her parents and I learned from mine. Continue to support Leadership Morgan Hill. We all have a role in making sure this program continues to thrive and evolve to meet the needs of the residents of this community. Nothing is static. Communities change and their needs change. And if you're a nonprofit staff person or an executive director, take care of yourself. Know that you are in a demanding job. Ask for support. Train others to effectively contribute. And celebrate the small victories. So congratulations, graduates. I wish you and all the alumni of Leadership Morgan Hill great success as you continue to invest in this wonderful community. Thank you for having me.
For the past 6 years, David Gerard has brought his years of experience in team building, communication skills, as well as executive coaching and personal development to our program as the class facilitator. At this time, David Gerard will be talking about the accomplishments of the class of 2011.
Thank you, Ken, and thanks, Teresa, for the very inspiring words you just shared with us. So every year, as the program facilitator, I get the chance to make some remarks about the class I've just worked with in the last 9 months. And I usually start out by giving a label to the class. Yeah. And so this year, I could very easily have said, this is the Zumba class. And if you don't know why I would say that, please afterwards go up to any of the class members, and I think they might, if you bribe them, I'll tell you exactly why. But like I said, that would be a very easy thing, a very easy choice for me to make. So thinking more deeply about what this class has accomplished this year, and it's really been amazing, I would say that this is the we class, because as individuals and as an entire team, together they've made the shift from thinking in terms of me to thinking in terms of we. As a class, they have learned through their hard work, and believe me, even this morning it was hard work as they finished their project in the hot sun. And as they learn through their hard work and dedication to the Morgan Hill community what we means and what one must do to transform their community into a better place to live and to work. And so they chose to focus on helping the kids of Morgan Hill, especially the kids who need the most help. Some of these class members do not live in Morgan Hill. Some of them do not have any children even. And none of their own kids will directly benefit from their altruism and the great project they just completed. By choosing this class project, they have not only made the shift in thinking from me to we, they've made the shift in doing for others instead of just for themselves. And so I think that deserves our praise and recognition. At the start of the class in January up at Valambrosia, we have an annual retreat, Saturday and Sunday every year. We asked ourselves, what is leadership? And when we met for the last time this month, I told the class that the company I work for now, PDI Ninth House, defines leadership this way. The true meaning of leadership is service. When we act for the good of our community, each of us becomes a leader. And I think that's exactly what this class has done. And so I will very deeply miss our monthly meetings as a class, but I'll look forward to your leadership for the good of our community in the future. Thank you, class of 2011, for all you've done, for all the good you've done for the whole Morgan Hill community. I'm greatly inspired by the model of leadership you've given all of us to admire tonight. So thank you.
Every year, the class chooses classmates to stand here and share their experiences. Would the members representing the class of 2011 please come forward?
Learning about the men and women who tirelessly work to make this city of Morgan Hill a great place to live and to work.
Evolving into the community leaders we were all meant to be.
A stands for amazing. The amazing experience that we've had through Leadership Morgan Hill 2011, the amazing people that I have met and become part of their lives, the amazing project that we have made, and the amazing city of Morgan Hill.
Yeah, baby!
Dynamic. As David said, we were a very dynamic class. We took on a very, very involved project and have seen it completed, which we finished today.
E is for energetic, and the energetic nature of this class became apparent early on, and the results speak for themselves and what we've done for the youth of Morgan.
R is for responsible. I am more responsible because I become a part of a responsible group that took on their responsibility responsibly.
intentional. That is what each and every member of the class of 2011 is. We began this journey as individuals, strangers, and we're finishing it as friends. Thank you.
Honored to be a part of Leadership Morgan Hill. I'm particularly honored to be a part of this group that has done such tremendous things. So, way to go, class.
Yay! Important, super important for Morgan Hill to have this program so we can look at all the people that are in the community and have them bring their talents to the table like we all did this year. All of us are very important. Thank you so much.
This is what I used to do whenever I had to get up speak in public. I'm proud to say that after 9 months with these wonderful people, that is no longer the case.
M is for memorable, which is the visual you all have of James peeing himself when he goes to speak. Memorable, you only have to hang out with this group or watch our little slideshow to know that we have hundreds and hundreds of memories. But if you really want to see something memorable, go to the CCC and check out our project.
Outstanding is the value this community is going to receive from the class of 2011.
R is for rare. I think it is very rare that you find yourself among a large group of people committed to the same value. And I find myself among 21 people committed to community service.
G is for growth. We've all grown together. Admiration. That's what I have for each and every one of you, for this program, for our project. We are amazing.
Nurture. Nurture is what this class has done for all of us and for the kids in Morgan Hill through what our project and what we've home on.
H is for hope. Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow.
It's incredible what 22 people can do in just a small amount of time.
Lifetime. It's how long all our friendships will last.
Lasting is our legacy at the CCC and also hopefully our impact on the youth of Morgan Hill.
Class of 2011, our project, our legacy. Our project is very near and dear to all of us. We raised a lot of money for youth programs in the city, and the monument that we built to stand will show the legacy of our class. Thank you.
Well, exclamation point. That kind of really says it all. There you go. Okay. And with that, I'd like to tell you the exclamation point for all of us. We just recognize Cricket and David for helping us so much throughout the project. And Cricket, I'd like for you to come up.
Come around the stairs.
Oh, there you are.
And you're at a wedding, you guys like the ring?
Thank you. Cricket. I just wanted to tell you, and from all of the class, how much we have appreciated everything that you've done for us. To keep us going, keep us in touch with everything, and keep us, on schedule, and for all the goodies you provided for us during the year. A big thank you. So here's a nice gift for you from the class of 2001. Okay, now we have David.
David? All right.
David, this is from the class. It's a bonsai, and it should be pointing towards you. Okay, and I have from the class. We'd like to offer you this gift to show what you've done for us, because you've always been there. You've led us well, and we really, really appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
And I said it was Bonsai Plus, so there's another part to it. But in the March, I have to go and provide a pot to my friend, and we're going to get a plant, a Japanese maple, for him to have on his patio. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mark. No, Mark has something to say. You had a little skip, right? Mark has a few words.
Actually, I did make a couple of notes. I didn't know if I was going to have a chance to remind everybody here, but basically what I call it is funny moments with Leadership Morgan Hill class of 2011. So the way this goes is there's some names and some situations, but I think I'll leave the names out, and those who were there will need no explanation. The British Bankers Club. Whoop, whoop. Tina, can you do that for us? The Steaming Head. Carrots and beet cheese eggs. Droid versus iPhone finding IHOP. Tick magnet or chick magnet. The little worm. The extremely scientific group method. The Dracula pose. High beams on. Romancing the Stones. The beer that disappeared. And 7 o'clock a.m. at Media Day. Glad you could make it, Tim. Ride 'em, cowgirl. Interview with the heckler. Chili's After Dark. And Where Do You Live? And for myself, the story that was told about me at Jason Stevens, it never happened. This has been a great experience with Leadership Morgan Hill, class of 2011. I know we're going to have a lot of friendships now and in the future. Thank you. Oh, and Leadership Morgan Hill. Best class. 1, 2, 3. Best class ever!
Okay, you're not graduated yet.
No.
Acknowledging the 2011 class of Leadership Morgan Hill, I invite Victor Gazziola, our incoming president for the Board of Leadership Morgan Hill, to read a proclamation that will be presented to each graduating class member. And I ask Victor to stay with us for the rest of the time. And we have Elizabeth Sanford also with us from Mike Wasserman's office. Victor.
All right, thanks, Ken. What a class. It really gave the class of 2009 a good run for its money. If you'll indulge me, I just need to update my Facebook status and Twitter. All right. I think the best class ever might be right here. And I do challenge those that want to give this class a run to sign up for 2012. In addition to your family and friends who are here to acknowledge the accomplishment of graduating and going through the program, and I would say, I call it a program, but it's really an experience. So going through the experience, you're about to become alumni and join a lot of us who have gone through that experience. It's that secret club. We have a secret handshake. You'll learn it later. However, I was asked to come to share some acknowledgments that we've received from our state senator, as well as our assemblyman, so State Senator Blakesley and Assemblyman Bill Monty, and each will get an acknowledgement from the state senate as well as our represented officials. But in addition to that, we have from our Board of Supervisors here in Santa Clara County, Mike Wasserman, who has a certificate. And I'm going to do is read the certificate of commendation to each and every one of you. And the rest, just for the most part, reflect the very same sentiment. So on behalf of Santa Clara County residents, the Board of Supervisors Mike Wasserman congratulates the student upon your graduation from Leadership Morgan Hill, class of 2011. You should be commended for expanding your leadership skills, knowledge of current issues, and involvement with the city of Morgan Hill. Mike Wasserman would like to extend to you his congratulations and best wishes for the future. And so to help us with the presentation, I invite Elizabeth, who is right here. Elizabeth Sanford from Mike Wasserman's office, who will help us give the certificates to each of the students. So, congratulations.
Thank you, Victor. Thanks for updating the Facebook. Now, David Gerard will come forward once more to announce the name of each of our graduates.
So class, the last thing I'll ask you to do is when I call your name, please come over to the podium here and you'll receive your awards and certificates. And so instead of counting off 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do this in alphabetical order.
I have a name.
Brenda Baker. Wendy Bell. Jeff Burris. Pat Cat. Ted Day. And with a special thank you to his father, a leadership graduate himself, Nick Ferrato. Adrian Flores. Chris Garrity. Diana Gerton. Katie Hart Mason. Timothy Hennessy.
Hip, 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 hip.
James Isaacson. Lisa Johnson. Natalie Kuski. And now our youngest class member, Merv Little. Rich Oswald.
Hip, hip.
Dina Pipkin. Ray Ramos.
Poser. Update that one.
Jason Stebbins. Kathy Toombs. Mark Van Kulen. And finally, Ron Winninger.
Hip, hip.
Please join me in congratulating the newest alumni of Leadership Morgan Hill. I'm so proud of this year's class for selecting and executing a project that will have a lasting impact on our community and that honors the youth of Morgan Hill. It is a gift to our community for now and always. We hope you'll become even more involved in our community and you take your place as leaders. However you choose to get involved, just know that everything you do makes a difference. I encourage and we welcome your continued participation in Leadership Morgan Hill this upcoming year. The graduation of one class opens the door for the next. If you know anyone who may be interested in being part of the class of 2012, please talk to me or any of our board members or to Cricket Rubino. Applications are on our website. We will be hosting an information session for potential class of 2012 recruits on Wednesday, October 12th at the Community and Cultural Center known as the Triple C at 7 p.m. October 12th. We're now serving cake on the patio. Please join us to offer your own congratulations to this outstanding class. Good night and thank you for coming.